Good evening, this is the Lion of Legend, and welcome back to Bloom. Let's head back on in and see exactly what everybody's up to. I wake up naturally, no alarms, no knocking, no surge of adrenaline caused by the idea of being late. I take a few long, deep breaths, enjoying the lack of responsibility ahead. The last 2 days have introduced exciting new developments into my life, but I'm desperately looking forward to having a full day to do whatever I want. It's still fairly early, only 7 a.m. according to the clock next to me. Plenty of time for what I have in mind. But first, a quick stop at Cafe Bloom for coffee. It's inevitable that I'll run into Albion, but despite working there, it's only on my days off that I truly get to enjoy the atmosphere of the cafe without worrying about customers. I refuse to change my routine over a little disagreement. Of course, Albion doesn't really get it. He doesn't understand why someone would want to see their coworkers outside of work. The cafe is like a second home to me, so it's natural to want to spend time there, even on days off. After that, the plan is to go to Quinn's boutique to check out the new product they got recently before going to the markets for lunch. Their shop is in Block 1, right by the southern gate, which, of the 4 gates, is the busiest due to it being connected to a major trade route. So, all in all, I could see Quinn, eat some good food, and get in some good exercise. A good plan if I ever heard one. The kitchen is empty when I enter, and a glance down the hallway reveals that Quinn's light is still off. I'll try to be quiet. I gather my things quietly and slip out the front door, doing my best to avoid waking Quinn. The sun has risen, but the streets aren't crowded quite yet. That will come in the next few hours. And so, I stroll slowly, basking in the atmosphere of the early morning. I decide to take the ferry to the cafe again this morning. It's faster and more relaxing than taking a carriage. Plus, on a morning as nice as this, I could sit back, relax, and take in the view from the deck. The sounds of rushing water grow louder, signaling my arrival at the dock. Perfect timing. The ferry's almost here. The ferry looks to be about halfway full, leaving plenty of open seating. It only takes a few moments for me to settle into a seat near the railing. To my right, I hear excited chatter coming from a group of young teenagers. I heard my friend say she caught a glimpse of St. Kalen the other day. Seriously? Man, I wish I could have seen them. I bet she made it up. The saint never leaves the sanctuary. But wouldn't it be cool if she did see them? Imagine getting to meet the great St. Kalen in the flesh. Or better yet, see them flying over the city. Apparently other cities' saints make appearances all the time. Lucky. They continue, gossiping about their various sightings related to the saint, but nothing they say is new information. There's a constant stream of rumors regarding St. Kalen, but at the end of the day, no one had really seen them with their own eyes. It's always my friend said, or I heard from so and so that. Each of the integrative cities has a dragon saint who lives among them, but our saint, the water saint, hasn't been spotted since the city's founding, well over 100 years ago. I won't lie and say I'm not curious myself, but whatever reason the saint has for keeping to themselves is their own. Though not an all-powerful being, it feels wrong to spread rumors about the saint, considering it's their power that keeps Hallis's waters clean and safe. The ferry rocks slightly as it comes to a stop, jolting me from my train of thought. Quickly, I stand up to disembark before making my way to Cafe Bloom. When I reach the cafe, Sylvia is standing outside, unfolding chairs and setting them up on the patio for the day. After a moment, she spots my approach, pausing her work to call out a greeting. "Oh, good morning, Astra." "Good morning. Are you working today? I could have sworn today was your day off." "No, you're right. I just came for some coffee. Well, you came to the right place. Go on in. I need to finish setting up out here, but Albion's inside. He can help you out. Alright. The bell rings when I enter, and Albion looks up from what he's doing, the furrow of his brow becoming more obvious once he sees who it is. Morning. Am I the first customer today? Well, we did just open. Right. Tension hangs in the air, filling it up like a balloon. I know I should say something, if anything, just to get rid of this horrible atmosphere. I have no idea what I should say. Maybe, sorry? Sorry for what, though? I'm not really sure. Maybe I can just pretend nothing happened. I don't have time to think about it too much more as the bell rings again, and Sylphia comes striding in, dusting her hands off. One thing to note about Sylphia, she's a master of reading the room. What is this? It's nothing. Alright then. Astra, did you order yet? No, not yet. Sylphia's eyes flick over to Albion. Well, we can't have that. What can I get for you today? Do you want your usual, or something else? The usual is fine, thanks, Sylphia. No problem. Sylphia walks away, moving further behind the counter, leaving me alone with Albion again. I guess it's up to me to start up a conversation. Unless I want to sit in awkward silence for the next few minutes. So, what's up? How long did it take you to come up with that one? Less time than it took you to come up with nothing. Albion doesn't respond to that, but he does appear less tense. Falling back into our usual ribbing seems to alleviate some of the anxiety gnawing at us. How's your morning going? As well as it could be. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. It's neutral. Neutral. Yes. Right. Okay then, I guess it's my turn. 4. Now you ask me, how was your morning? You know, you act just like a little kid sometimes. I'm older than you. Doesn't feel like it. I lean my head into my left hand. You jealous? Albion raises his eyebrows. Jealous of you? Saints no. I chuckle at Albion's insistence. He takes everything so seriously. It's nice to be able to joke with him. The sounds of the coffee maker come to a stop, and Sylphia makes her way back towards the bar with a mug in hand. Soon, my usual is placed in front of me. A hot, steaming cortado. I hope I said that right. Equal parts espresso and milk, and the perfect way to kickstart my day. Thanks, Sylphia. You're quite welcome. I reach for the cup, ready to take my first sip when a plate slides into my periphery. I look up to find Albion avoiding eye contact with me. Still avoiding my gaze, he speaks up. Breakfast. My treat. It's true that I haven't eaten yet. Thank you, Albion. He nods before walking away, disappearing around the corner of the bar. As soon as he leaves, Sylphia leans down next to me and whispers conspiratorially. I've learned that when Albion does things like this, it's better to just accept it and then pretend like nothing happened. Understood. It's so delicious, but I haven't seen this one before. Are you trying new recipes? Not really. We were running low on some of our usual stuff, so I used some of the fresh fruits I picked up this morning. Blueberries and strawberries are baked into the scone, and when I take the first bite, the berries are so juicy that my cheeks twinge in response. The menu at Cafe Bloom is pretty basic, offering classic coffee, tea, and scones. What keeps customers coming back is the high quality and the people. It's just something I threw together this morning. I didn't even try it myself first. Oh, so I'm your guinea pig then. Hey, Albion's the one that brought it out. Like a ghost, Albion appears now holding a glass of water, which he sets next to my coffee. I tried one already. They're good. Sylphia smiles at Albion, swatting at his arm softly. Oh, high praise coming from you. This would be a great addition to the menu. Customers would love it. I'll keep it in mind for our final proposal. Sounds like a plan. I can't wait. With no other customers in the cafe, there's a sense of comfort and intimacy that permeates the air. It reminds me of what I hope to achieve with the new development plan. Cafe Bloom should be a place that everyone feels like going to, a reflection of the city itself, diverse and filled with warmth. Conversation flows for a while longer. Eventually, my coffee and scone disappear, and in the blink of an eye, it's time for me to leave. Oh, it's almost time for Quinn's shop to open up, so I have to get going. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for the chat. Anytime. Okay, now to go see Quinn. Quinn's shop is located right near the southern gate, making it a prime location for an accessory and clothing boutique. When Quinn and I had first moved in together, they worked at a different clothing shop, but their goal had always been to open their own. Almost a year ago now, Quinn had finally opened their own store in a good location, quickly becoming a local favorite. Though I suspect a large part of their customer base are just trying to get Quinn to notice them. I hope Quinn notices me too. Oh my god, Lion, stop. Calm down. Between their positive attitude and knack for getting people to open up, Quinn was quite popular. Hopefully they're free enough to chat for a bit. Standing in front of Quinn's shop, I catch glimpses of new items in the shop that weren't there the last time I came. Quinn travels roughly once a season, going to various cities and towns to source new accessories and clothing from vendors. It's what makes their shop stand out, and Quinn is often able to establish relations with all kinds of people, keeping the shop stocked with unique products. I must linger outside the shop too long, because suddenly I hear a familiar voice calling my name. Astra, you made it! Quinn jogs towards me, grinning widely and waving. Of course I did. Are you busy? For you, never. Come on, I have so much cool stuff to show you. Quinn takes my hand and starts dragging me inside. Along the way, I wave to the other staff members as I pass by, most of whom I recognize from previous visits. Good thing I stopped for coffee. Quinn seems extra excited today. They must have gathered some really interesting items this time. The inside of the shop is busy, but not so much that it's difficult to move around in. Still holding my hand tightly, Quinn pulls me around, pointing excitedly at all the new items. They come to a stop in front of a display. On it are a variety of jewelry pieces, all constructed from shining pearls, glass, and shells. You remember that trip I took to Cholaire last month? Well, I was lucky enough to be there while mermaids were visiting the city. Mermaids? Really? How rare. Right? I found out that they occasionally come up to the surface to trade things along the shore. I had no idea. So then, these are all handcrafted pieces, made from deep sea pearls and colored glass. I've never seen anything like these before. So, what did you trade for it? That's the best part. They love regular, everyday items that we use on the surface, like forks and dishes. Plus, once I mentioned that I sell my finds, a few of them gave me extra pieces. All of them seemed really interested in surface culture. That's why they do trades, since it's not like we use the same currency. We get to learn about their culture, and they get to learn about ours. It's a win-win. This pattern continues for the next hour. Get pulled along to a new display, hear Quinn's travel story, repeat. Once we reach the last display, Quinn lets go of my hand. And done. Until I find some more stuff, of course. When's your next trip? I'm not sure yet. There's some things I want to sort out here before I make any final decisions. What about where? Have you decided that? Wherever the wind takes me. Maybe I'll go see one of the dwarven settlements. They're constantly coming up with new stuff, so I'm sure I'll see something inspiring if I go there. The dwarves, huh? They do make the best tools. In fact, most of the ones we use at Bloom were made by dwarves. The dwarves do have their own settlement underneath Hallis, but it's much smaller than the ones that are built into the mountains. It's hard to even imagine the scale of that. You'll definitely find some cool stuff there. Quinn smiles. I'm glad you see my vision. We stand in the shop for a while longer, chatting. At some point, some of Quinn's employees join the conversation. When the sun hits its peak, I take that as my cue to start heading out. I'm about to say my goodbyes, hoping to get to the Block 1 market in time for lunch, when Quinn grabs my hand one last time. Ah, wait. I, set aside one of the pearl bracelets for you. It's yours, if you want it. Yes, absolutely. Can I save? We will save. I'll just do slot 2. Absolutely. Okay, I'll go get it. Quinn moves into the back to grab the bracelet and then comes back to stand in front of me again. They hold the bracelet out in the palm of their hand. One of the mermaids, Erwina, told me that in their culture, wearing pearls is believed to help you overcome hardships. You're working on that proposal for Sylphia, right? Yes, but... Anyways, I thought this might help. Before I can say anything, Quinn slides the bracelet over my wrist, tapping it with a sense of finality once they're done. Always so thoughtful. Hey, seriously, thank you. You're always bringing me back gifts from your travels. Don't worry about it too much. Now, get out of here. You're gonna miss it. Huh? Miss what? Don't huh me. You want to catch the lunchtime food stalls, don't you? If you leave now, you can get there before everything sells out. Ah, right, I almost forgot. See you later. See you at home. After I leave Quinn's shop, I decide to walk around the rest of Block 1, which has more shops than the other blocks. The main road is lined with market stalls, taking advantage of the increase in tourists that the city experiences every weekend. I could wander here for hours. With so many different races from both inside and outside of Hallis, the selection at the markets is limitless. With my mindset on finding lunch, I simply follow the smells of food to find where vendors have set up shop for the afternoon. I end up in a cluster of stalls selling various local specialties from nearby villages. Lines are already starting to form, so I quickly scan the area, though it's hard to really see anything. I stand on my tiptoes, attempting to see over the crowds to get an idea of what looks the tastiest when a hand on my shoulder makes me jump. Ah, saints, what? Whoa, sorry. I didn't think I'd scare you that bad. They reach out and grab me by the shoulders, steadying me. You okay? Yeah, I'm okay. When I look up from my feet, I find myself face to face with none other than Felix. Wow, this feels familiar. He takes a step back. Although, I guess it's more my fault this time. You here for lunch? Yes, actually. What about you? The same. Well, sort of. I'm actually here selling some paintings. But I was getting hungry, so here I am. My studio is getting a bit cluttered, so I'm selling a bunch of paintings to make some room. Now that I think about it, he did say that he sold his work at the market sometimes. Really? I'd love to see more of your work. Sure, I can show you after we get something to eat. Actually, I happen to know where to get the best grilled salmon. How about I take you there? The best, you say? That's some high praise. It's the truth. Come on, I'll show you. Only if you want to, of course. I don't want to ruin your plans. I wasn't really planning on anything in particular if I'm being honest. I don't see why not. Not to mention that this could be the perfect chance to get to know Felix better. Also, me, as in Lion, really like salmon, so I know I'm not going to actually eat it, but I guess I'm curious too. Sure, lead the way. Great, then follow me. Felix weaves through the crowd with a sense of familiarity. He moves around people with ease, while also occasionally glancing back at me with a smile to make sure that I'm keeping up. It doesn't take long to reach Felix's destination. There, I see a werefox making some final adjustments to his stall. He looks up as we approach and smiles in recognition when he spots Felix. Well, 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 if it isn't my favorite customer. The werefox moves out in front of the stall with his arms crossed, looking at Felix playfully. After a moment, his hands move to rest in his pockets, and his eyes flick over to me. Oh, who's this? This is Astra. She was looking for a good place to eat, so... Wow, free advertising. Thanks, man. The werefox's attention then shifts fully over to me, and I get the feeling that I'm being scrutinized. Finally, they stick their right hand out toward me, initiating a handshake. Nice to meet you, Astra. I'm Velvet, or just Vel for short. Felix doesn't usually meet up with people when it's not related to work, so forgive me for being shocked. Whoa, hey, I hang out with people outside of work. Oh yeah, who? Yeah. And don't say me, I don't count. That's not fair. Point proven. Velvet takes his attention off of Felix, shifting his focus back to me, while pointing back at Felix with his thumb and rolling his eyes. Felix makes a wounded noise. So anyways, Astra, I assumed you were promised some food. Yeah, Felix told me you make the best grilled salmon. I sure like to think so. Give me some time to get everything going, and then you can see for yourself. Keep Felix in company in the meantime, yeah? It's kind of ironic to me personally with my number one waifu being Velvet Crow from Tales of Berseria, who is also a cook. She makes the best quiche. This Velvet makes the best salmon. Velvet walks back towards the stall again, patting me on the shoulder as he walks away. They seem nice, a little overfamiliar maybe, but nice. Felix glances over at me, looking only mildly put out. I need you to know that I totally hang out with other people. Though, I suppose Vel is the only one I consider a real friend. Sure, I believe you. It's true. The both of us dissolve into laughter, the scene resembling something very similar that happened just the day before. It feels natural to be around Felix, like we've known each other for much longer rather than a single day. Could I consider us friends after just a day? I mean, sure, we're going out to lunch with them, why not? I guess acquaintances do that too, but this feels more than just like acquaintance. Yeah, definitely. Well, you could add me to that list. Suddenly, the easy atmosphere that has been building up between us vanishes, and Felix's grin falters for a split second. Yeah, I guess I can. Though he technically agreed, there's a look in Felix's eyes that gives him away. Yeah, I felt that hesitation there. I don't have too much time to think about it as Velvet approaches holding a bowl in each hand. Here you go. Freshly caught salmon grilled and served over rice. Be careful though, it's still hot. That much is obvious. Steam curls off the bowl as Velvet hands it to me carefully, making sure I don't burn my fingers. It looks amazing, thank you. No sweat, enjoy. Inside, the salmon is artfully sliced and laid neatly over rice, covered in a thin glaze of something that smells faintly sweet. Felix starts eating the moment the bowl is placed in his hands, but I take a moment to appreciate the freshly cooked meal and let it cool down. Once I deem it cool enough, I take my first bite. Despite its unassuming appearance, the flavors are beautifully balanced. The fish is tender and breaks apart easily. Pair that with the glaze, and it practically melts in my mouth. It isn't too sweet either, as the rice absorbs any extra glaze, mellowing out the flavor. How comforting. I turn my head to Felix, but he's no longer sitting next to me, although I don't have to search very hard to find him. Standing next to Velvet, Felix's bright clothes are easy to spot. I can see them speaking, but I'm not quite close enough to hear exactly what it is they're talking about. Felix catches me looking over at them and turns back to Velvet, saying something that I can't make out before he walks back over towards me, plopping back down in his seat. Well, Felix, you were right. I think this is the best salmon I've ever had. It's exactly what I needed. Felix smiles and leans closer to me, lowering his voice. Right? They may not look it, but Vel is one of the most hard-working people I know. He spent a lot of time perfecting this recipe. He really wanted to make it feel like an authentic home-cooked meal from his hometown, so it took some time. From behind his stall, Velvet lifts his head up, ears swiveling in our direction. He makes a face and points toward the top of his head, clearly indicating that he can hear us. Seriously? They still heard that? Tell me about it. My roommate is werefolk too, and nothing escapes their senses. How am I supposed to spill his secrets now? Back at the stall, Velvet shakes their head in resignation before going back to work. At this point, the smell of Velvet's cooking has started attracting enough people to start forming a line. Now that they're fully set up, it's clear that Velvet's food is really quite popular. I finish up the rest of my meal with a satisfied exhale, and since Felix has already finished, it seems like we're about ready to leave. Felix stands up and looks down at me. Well, I should head back to my own stand now. You still coming? Yeah, of course. Just give me a moment to go pay Velvet first. Felix makes a face and sighs loudly. No need. They said it was their treat. I believe their exact words were, "Tell your new friend that her lunch is on the house. In exchange, let's hang out again." What? When did that happen? After I finished eating. Huh. Well, alright. You don't have to hang out with him though if you don't want to. It's not like he's gonna force you. I'm not against it. In fact, I'm a little curious too. If you say so. Let's get going. As we turn to leave, I catch Velvet's eye as they're dealing with customers and I wave. His hands are busy, but he winks with a smile before getting right back to work. Together, we wander back towards where Felix had set up his things. Once we arrive, Felix immediately starts to pull out his covered paintings, setting them out properly once more. Looking around, Felix's stall shows a wide range of paintings in various sizes and subjects, although most of these are of different flowers. Whenever I find my studio getting a little too cluttered, I come here and sell some of them off at a discount. I can't imagine what your studio looks like if this is just the clutter. You don't want to know. It's a madhouse in there. So you, like flowers? Yeah, just a little bit. For some reason, Felix's voice gets quieter, different from the louder, more excited way that he usually speaks. Right, just a little bit then. I find myself painting them more than anything else. He said he'd paint anything if asked, but there's a clear bias here. Each of these paintings are beautiful in their own right, and just like the ones I'd seen yesterday, they feel full of life. Felix, these are amazing. When I look at them, It almost feels like you've captured a moment in time. Thanks. I enjoy painting flowers the most when they're in full bloom, but it's difficult. I have to try and catch them at the right time. Felix looks sad when he says this, though when he catches me staring, he smiles. It'd be amazing if more people could see these. Have you thought about displaying these somewhere? Like in a gallery or, let's say, a cafe? No. Never really had the need to, if I'm being honest. I get enough commissions as is, and the markets fill in the gaps well enough. Truthfully, I was thinking that some of these would look beautiful on display in Cafe Bloom. Would you be open to it? Why? Got something in mind? Maybe. Alright then. Well then, maybe I'd be open to it. Fair enough. I should give this some more thought. I should start going back soon. I've got to start heading home, but thank you for letting me see your work. No problem. I'm always happy to show off. If you need me for any projects in the future, well, you have my card. Right. If I need any paintings, then I'll reach out to you first. Felix grins at that, sounding genuinely interested in hearing from me. Bye, Astra. Get home safe, okay? I will. See you around. Yeah, see you. The door to my apartment shuts quietly behind me. Though I wasn't out for the full day, I can still feel a satisfying exhaustion settling into my bones. I still have a handful of hours before I have to worry about dinner. Guess I could get some more chores done. Might as well keep going while I have the motivation. Quinn and I tend to keep the apartment pretty neat. Whenever one of us has the time, we try to do a little cleaning. It ends up working well, but if one of us does ever need help, we would just ask. I spend the next couple of hours cleaning. It's soothing and something I actually enjoy doing, even though it's a day off. It feels good to be doing something with my time instead of relaxing. What can I say? I like to be busy. The front door clicks open as I'm finishing up the last of the chores, and Quinn steps into the kitchen, exhaling loudly. Home sweet home. Welcome back. Quinn sets their bag down and walks up to me. Need some help? I'm pretty much done already. Thanks though. How was the rest of your day? Busy? Just a bit, but it was a good kind of busy. You won't find me complaining about good business. Glad to hear it. Have you had dinner yet? I brought back some food if you're hungry. They reach down, and from the bags on the floor, Quinn brings out a container of food. My stomach growls loudly in response. I'd gotten so absorbed in cleaning that I didn't realize how late it's gotten. I'll take that as a no. Here, while it's still warm. Quinn places a portion of food in front of me. It looks like a creamy mushroom soup, which just so happens to be one of my favorites. Are you psychic? Not psychic, you're just predictable. I don't think I'm that obvious. Thanks, though. You're welcome. I dig into the food that Quinn brought while the two of us alternate between eating and talking. What did you do after you left the shop? Did you make it to lunch? I did. I actually ran into Felix, and he took me to a friend of his who happens to be a chef, and saints, their food was delicious. Quinn raises an eyebrow in confusion. Felix? Who's that? Ah, right. Remember how I went to the markets after work yesterday? Felix is the painter that I ran into. Ah, yes. The handsome and mysterious painter. I don't think I said all that. I might be embellishing. Quinn puts a hand to their chin and smirks subtly. I don't like that look. What are you thinking? It's nothing. Just deciding if I should tease you now or later. You're right. Let's go with later. I need more information. So, you ran into him again today? How was that? Good, I think. He seems like a fun guy. I'm hoping we can hang out more. In fact, I think you'd like him a lot. I feel like you guys might get along. Well, they do say you can never have too many friends. Who's they? Me, obviously. Right. Har har. The rest of the night continues like this. We eat, talk, and laugh until eventually it's time for both of us to turn in. The exhaustion of the day's events seeps into my bones. I feel content, and I let that feeling deliver me swiftly into the land of dreams. Prologue end. 5 days later, Sylphia pulls me aside to ask for updates about the development plan. Astra, do you have a moment? Sylphia sits at the bar facing me. The cafe is empty, outside of Sylphia and myself, so her question isn't really necessary, but I answer it anyway. Of course. About what we discussed. It's time to make your choice. I want to hear what you think. My heart skips a beat. This feels important, like the kind of choice that will shape not just the cafe, but the people tied to it. As it was before, the first option is to focus on our menu. Add seasonal treats, new items, new coffees. Something to keep the customers excited every time they visit. That sounds very Albion. He is always meticulously creating coffee blends. The second option is to turn the cafe into more of a community space. We could host events, bring in local artists, create something alive and ever-changing. Local artist. Maybe someone like Felix. My heart quickens. 2 choices, each carrying its own weight. I glance back at Sylphia, who watches me with quiet patience. So, Astra, which vision speaks to you? Okay, I can save. That's great. Because, man, I don't know what makes a cafe great. I don't go to cafes. I don't drink coffee. The closest thing that I ever do to going to a cafe is if I'm going because I'm with somebody that wants to go into one because they're a coffee drinker and I'm not, or I'm on vacation and I, for some reason, want to get a chai latte because I seemingly only get chai lattes on vacation. This is a hard decision, but I know this is probably going to impact the romance route that I go down. So which boy do I want more? Felix, who seems to be potentially nicer than Albion, but definitely is hiding something. Not maybe suspicious. I don't think it's in their character. I don't even think that's this kind of game. It's just that he reacted a little awkwardly with hesitance when we proposed being their friend. So something definitely motivated that. Albion is Albion. You know, he's a little mean, but you know, I'm sure there's a lot to discover there. So do we want our coworker, or do we want the painter? Honestly, if I were to go by the rules of Batman, dating within the team always leads to disaster. I would say I've seen that happen more than one time in my life. Therefore, I'm gonna have to go with Felix. That's the smart choice. Now, maybe when we come back, we'll go for Albion. But that also depends on when, because I want the wolf. But we're gonna go for Felix. For now. I want Bloom to become a community space, to bring in local artists and keep it lively. Bold, I like it. I'll reach out to a few contacts. And there he is. Oh man, I've chosen my path. Immediately after making my decision, my hands gravitate towards each other, drawn together like magnets. I feel the weight of Felix's card in my pocket. Even just the memory of his calm, assured voice makes my pulse race faster. It's too late to backtrack now. It takes all my effort to pry my hands apart and rest them against my back. However, in my body's effort to balance the scales, I feel myself rock up and then down on my toes. Sylvia takes notice of my nervous fidgeting near instantly. Her eyes soften, and her hand reaches out to run down my arm in a soothing gesture. I think this is a great choice, Astra. Truly. Do you have an idea of where to start? Sylvia's gentle countenance brings me back into focus, and the breath I've been holding rushes out. I think so. You should reach out to them. We could use as many people as we can get our hands on. I can? Of course. You'll be taking more of a management role for this project. This is the perfect chance for you to gain some experience. No matter how often it happens, I'll always be grateful for the way Sylvia reassures me. But management? I've never considered taking on that kind of responsibility before. I guess I just assumed Sylvia would handle it. But if she's asking me, that must mean she believes I can do it. Right? You're so sure of everything. You think if I lived as long as you, I'd feel that way too? She laughs out loud, startling me with the sudden intensity. You humans think everything comes with age. Once her giggles subside, Sylvia opens her eyes, a serious look forming within them. You have wonderful ideas, Astra. Ideas that are formed in moments of vulnerability and hesitance. Sometimes, I need that perspective. I have every confidence in you. Alright then, thank you. No worries. Now, let's get back to work, shall we? She turns back to the counter, leaving me with her words still echoing in my chest. Trust yourself, Astra. Just like you did when you chose this path. My hands rest over my pocket where Felix's card lay, like it's a treasure. The card is simple yet striking. Off-white stock, the name of Felix's studio scrawled in bold brushstrokes across the center, as though painted by hand. Sunflowers are stamped in the corner, their yellow ink just a little smudged, like it was pressed in haste, or with affection. He did tell me to come find him if I needed him for a job. Okay, after my shift tomorrow, I'll visit Studio Alizetti. I can do this. Alright, I'm actually going to pause it here. I'm going to save here, I guess I should say. Oh, did I just go forward one? Oh man, okay. Wait. Okay, let me read this last line. Oh god. Okay. The kitchen is cold this early in the morning. A cup of coffee sits between my palms, heating them, the contrast causing little shivers to snake up my spine. Last night, I tried to sleep, but my drive to write down all my ideas saw me getting out of bed. Okay, so now I'm going to save here, because I'm going to call it here. I'm still feeling a little sick. It's like, I'm at the extreme tail end of it, but definitely while I've been reading this, I've been feeling my congestion, if you will. It's minor, so, not a big deal. But I'm going to go run and grab some more supplies. And then I have some other things I got to work on. But I'm liking where this is going. I am definitely still invested, and I want to see how this story progresses. I know we haven't hit the end of the demo yet. I would like to try and get this done before the next update, ideally, which might be hard because I have multiple things I'm juggling. Resident Evil comes out on Friday, so I'm going to do my best. But regardless, whether I get through this section before the next update or not, I'm still going to come back. I just might have to change my strategy a little bit because the next update is when Quinn becomes a root, and I know I'm taking that route. So, yeah, you'll see me here again. But I'm definitely enjoying this. I thought the Fox Boy Velvet was a good addition to the story, very interesting. Looking to see how he is going to return. I assume he is, especially since we took the Felix route. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But that all being said, I'll definitely tune back into Bloom as quickly as I can. Also, we gotta see exactly what's gonna happen with Felix in this path of romance. And, how's our relationship with Albion gonna go? I guess we'll have to wait and see. That all being said, if you did enjoy this video, go ahead and leave it a like, leave a comment, share the video, perhaps even subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you all in the next video. So have a good night.